CK is a hero that has greatly benefited from the recent patches, and he's now strong enough to be played even as an offlaner. So we're going to watch a game here of Resolution playing Offlane Chaos Knight, and we're going to see how powerful this hero can be, how much space Resolution can create here, and especially how powerful Aghanims is as an item on Chaos Knight. Welcome back to the Church of Obelisk. It's been almost 2 weeks, so sorry about not posting any videos sooner, but I have still been streaming at twitch.tv/Jon. So come follow me there and get your replays analyzed. So regular times for my stream are Monday at 5 PM GMT, and on Friday it's at 1 PM GMT. But on this Friday, so like pretty much the day that this video comes out, it's actually going to be at 11 AM GMT, so 2 hours earlier, because I have somewhere to be in the evening, so you can still get 4 or 5 hours of streaming in. But now let's actually talk about this game. So we have a CK and an Enchantress. Enchantress has really good starting items. The Blightstone helps a lot for killing people, and then the Observer Ward to de-ward this camp. Very important if you're playing Enchantress, you can't get this camp blocked. This is so much of your early game strength. Now they have this Halberd Smasher, and there's a very strong kill creep. So they can just move in here and probably get a kill onto this Terrorblade. So he pings out the Terrorblade actually. This is actually a fairly easy kill. And the first blood is actually shared here between the CK and the Enchantress, because the creep got the kill. But with that shared first blood gold, CK is going to buy himself a Bracer, which is a really strong laning item and just generally a good item on pretty much any strength hero in the lane. Gives a lot of damage and some sustain, and he's only going to put 1 level into Chaos Strike. This is what you want to do is if you're an offlaner. As a carry you want to max this out, but as offlaner you want to play more aggressively. So we just don't have as much sustain as his regular Chaos Knights do, so we need some extra with the Bracer. And then he's also buying himself an Orb of Venom, which is a great item if you're ahead in the lane. The Orb is not good if you're behind, because all it basically does is that it makes it harder for enemies to run away from you. But you don't have to run away, then Orb of Venom is kind of a waste of an item slot. But here it's really strong, and it's going to help him dominate this lane even more. Enchantress has found another great creep here with his Shadow Tormentor. So you can just go again onto this Terrorblade and drive him out of the lane. No kill here unfortunately, but at least the TB is very low and has to hide away and is not getting farm. Of course, that's the primary objective if you're an offlaner. You want to deny the enemy carry as much farm as possible, and if it means losing a couple of hits to yourself, that's a fine trade to do. But he still goes in here for the deny, and they find Terrorblade here. He knows it's still hiding in the trees, so they can actually know they get a brief glimpse here of him, so they try to find him out here. And with this salve, he's quite healthy now, but another nice stun comes in here, and that is going to be a kill. So now next item the CK is going to go for is the Soul Ring. This item was recently buffed, had its cost reduced by 75 gold, which is quite a big deal for such a cheap item. And the problem with the new Soul Ring is that it no longer gives HP regen, but we're CK, so we're to get a decent amount of sustain from Chaos Strike. So we can actually afford to have a Soul Ring, and it's just so important on Chaos Knight because it's a really mana intensive hero. And especially if you're maxing out Chaos Bolt, which is our main ability in the early game, we need lots and lots of mana, and Soul Ring is the cheapest way of providing that. And beside that, of course, the stats it gives are also quite excellent. Strength and armor, both things that CK very much wants to have. So right now TB, after dying twice in this lane, has just decided to jungle. And it's important as position 4, if you're driven off the enemy carry, don't just sit in lane and leech experience. So he's actually going to roam around here, maybe try to find the TB in the jungle, or maybe find some kill on the mid laner, something like that. So he's coming in here with that Centaur and hopes to find some sort of kill here on Void Spirit. Nice stomp here, and Woodspirit in big trouble. But with his tricks he can almost escape, but not quite, so nice kill here being set up by the Enchantress. And meanwhile CK of course is enjoying himself here in the lane, and you want to be aggressive here and just sort of put the Fear of God into Winter Wyvern. You're not going to kill him here on your own, but at least you can sort of get him low, and now with the Enchantress coming in, you can possibly get a kill here, unless Winter Wyvern is really careful. And here in this case it looks like he is, so no kill opportunity there, but it was worth a try. Catapult Wave coming in, and I also really like the fact that Enchantress has gone for Medallion. Excellent item in general, just in this patch, very strong and fits quite well with Enchantress's early game plan. I don't quite find the Winter Wyvern, he managed to juke himself here out of this situation, but still with the Starcross Summoner, he's an excellent pushing creep. These skeletons are quite strong, so they can just push this tower. And notice that Rezo does not use this Phantasm sparingly. Just pretty much whenever it's available he's going to use it, get some farming done, get some killing done, possibly get some pushing done. And here in this case he's going to take this important tier 1 tower and is now most of the way towards his treads, which is of course the boots of choice for Chaos Knight. You really like attack speed, you like strength, and also thread switching is really powerful in CK, especially if you have a soul ring. So definitely treads is the one and only item you want to go for here. So what makes CK a viable offlaner? Well, in offlane you generally want them to have stuns, initiation, you want them to be tanky frontliners, and you want them to be strong team fighters and aura builders. Except for those last two things, CK fulfills all those. So you can see he's just teleporting around the map, getting killed here, even on Tidehunter. So this is a hero that can get a lot done in the early mid game with his maxed out Chaos build. And you can see Tidehunter, of course, a fairly tanky hero, but he died quite easily there. And this is generally just going to be the name of the game. We're going to run around, we're going to kill people. And this is especially facilitated by the fact that if you have this Invoker with his Sunstrike, and this build works great if you have some sort of global hero like the Invoker or like an Io or a Nature's Prophet, some sort of hero that can add extra damage, get some sort of +1 in there. So in this fight he's still sticking around here, he's slow, but he can possibly still throw out a Chaos Ball or something, but this team gets the kill anyway. So now you can just go back to farming, and with just 1 point in Chaos Strike you're not really farming that fast and you're not really gaining HP, it's more just about preserving your current HP. And this is why as carries Chaos Knight you generally want to max this out first. It allows you to farm very easily, but here we're more interested in just the killing power of Chaos Balls. Rezo pretty much always goes for treads, for soul ring, for bracer, for magic wand, and then of course these items are great too. But then what the item that he follows up with next kind of varies depending on the game. Here in this particular game he's going for a Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade is great here. We talked about the kill potential with the Invoker, so the playstyle he's going to go for in this game, he's just going to run around, he's going to roam around the map and find kills all game long. And he's also just going to use his Phantasm to take dangerous farm occasionally. So this is the dead lane, this is the lane where you don't want to be, and the dangerous farm that you can take as an offlaner, and even finds Tidehunter here with Invoker coming in here with a Sunstrike. He can definitely get a kill with Chaos Ball. He pings it out, Chaos Ball comes in, and Sunstrike is a kill here. So if you don't have some sort of hero like Invoker that can easily facilitate these kinds of kills, you don't want to go for the Shadow Blade. Instead you go straight for the Aghanims. Aghanims is a great item on CK. What Aghanims does is it creates illusions for all the heroes on your team, so you get 5 extra illusions, and also dispels your entire team. And this is incredibly powerful. These illusions do 100% damage, they last for 30 seconds, and It's only 75 cooldown, so this Aghanim is incredibly powerful, especially on an offlaner where you just don't have as much farm as a carry, so your own illusions are not as strong as they would be on a carry CK. But the strength of Aghanim is not really dependent on your own items, it's dependent on the item of your entire team. So it's pretty much always a good item, and possibly might even see in this patch a position 4 or 5 CK emerging that goes for Aghanims as the primary item. We'll definitely see that being a thing, but the item is strong enough that even on carry CK, I think Aghanims is usually the item to go for. And you want some sort of initiation item, so if he's not gone for that Shadow Blade, the item we're going to go for after Aghanims is a Blink Dagger. So you want to be an initiator as the offlaner generally, and definitely that's something that CK is quite good at. You don't have the teamfight potential, but you have a lot of solo pickup potential, and this is what you want to play around. And Rezo is taking dangerous farm here in the dead lane, but he's not going too far here. He doesn't want to push in too far and get killed. Instead, he's going to TP to the mid lane, and you see him TPing a lot in this game. He just wants to roam around the map and kill people. He wants them to be constantly worrying about whether CK is going to show up out of the fog and kill them. And this is the way you want to play. You want to create space for your 1 and 2 and just kill people on the map there. The goal here is that the enemy team never feels safe, no matter where they are on the map. He just picked up an Invis rune, so he's going into the enemy jungle, seeing what he can find, seeing if any hero is farming here, and he finds Void Spirits, and this should be a pretty good kill. He communicates with the Invoker, make sure that Sunstrike is available, and there we go. Unfortunately, a bit of a miscommunication here with the Reality Rift, misplacing that Void. But it was a good attempt, and as we're going to see in a second, this Void Spirit actually is a bit greedy, sticks around here, and yoink, and that's a kill. So with this, his courier is flying out with that amulet and the broadsword, but he's not sending that courier straight towards him because he doesn't want the Shadow Blade to show up. He wants Shadow Blade to be a surprise, so he TPs down there immediately with the Shadow Blade and looks for some sort of hero that's farming this lane. He's seen some Terrorblade illusions, so he suspects that Terrorblade is nearby. He doesn't quite know where Terrorblade is, and maybe Terrorblade is hiding somewhere here. He doesn't quite know. In fact, actually, Terrorblade has just retreated here to the triangle and is going to farm these camps. So no one is showing up. He's going to Invis again, seeing if someone is willing to show, but since no one shows up, he eventually just farms this wave. You don't want to stay here too long. This is dangerous farm. He just uses his Phantasm and is going to push in the lane. This is a move that you see a lot from position 1 CK, as 3 CK you generally want to use your ultimate for killing, but just important to use it any way you can, and taking some juicy farm here is great use too. But while this farming is going on, he's immediately already moving towards the mid lane, and he wants to fight with his team here. Setting up that fight, gets a nice stun here, and the pullback here on the Winter Wyvern, and that is another kill. Another Sunstorm kill here for the Invoker. So he's now already most of the way towards the Echo Saber, which is of course a natural follow-up to Shadow Blade. Silver Edge is quite strong here because of the Tidehunter, who's kind of like a counter hero to CK with his Kraken Shell and his Anchor Smash. But if you can just disable that passive, you can easily kill him. Speaking of easily killing people, this Terrorblade is incredibly dead. So you see the Cataclysm coming in here with the Aghanims on the Invoker. And right now, just any hero that shows up alone, it's going to be a fairly easy kill. Canada though is a bit of a different beast because he's just too tanky right now. But once we have our Silver Edge complete, that is going to change. As you can see, he's willing to push out this bottom in a little bit here, the dead lane, but doesn't want to go too far here because it's too dangerous. So instead he just TPs to the top lane and is once again on the hunt. Some little bit of light farming in between, that's a fine thing to do, but mostly you just want to roam around here with Invis and see if he can find some sort of pick off. So that's what he's going to do. And this entire team is kind of waiting behind him, except for the Invoker. So they can easily take some sort of fight here. And he sees what he can find, and he is going to get this Tidehunter here, and it's an easy kill with Silver Edge. And even more kills here with Pangolier on the retreat. Gets another kill here, double kill for Invoker. And now it's time to push this tier 2 tower. But in the meantime, Chaos Knight is still getting kills. So you just want to play this hero incredibly actively and just find whatever he can around the map. He doesn't even stick around here in the fight, he just wants to immediately TP to the bottom. He wants to find the kills. That's your job here as CK in this game. So you find the real tower right here, and that is a hit here, and a stun still available here. Gets the Terror Blade here, and with Noka arriving with Boots of Travel, this is a kill. So Boots of Travel, really valuable item here in combination with the CK. The CK can just always set up your kills. And now it's on the way towards the Aghanims, as we already discussed. Incredibly powerful item on CK. And once again, Soul Ring, Silver Edge, you're just gonna hunt people, you're gonna find whatever kills you can get. And this of course is the prime farming area for the Dire, so see what you can find, but no one farming there, so just retreats. And it's back to do a little bit of farming. Despite the Soul Ring and the Silver Edge, which gives 1.5 mana regen, you're still buying Clarities here. Because CK, of course, very mana hungry hero. He looks for some sort of thing here, but he gets dusted, so he knows he has to retreat. But with his entire team backing him up, he can safely take some farm. And now they're going for a little bit of a smoke gank. Before you go to the high ground, you activate Shadow Walk so that you don't get revealed, and find Tidehunter, and that is a very easy kill. Tidehunter moves just a slight bit out of the base here and gets immediately gone on, and here Rez actually moves back too fast. I think he wants to leave the kill to the Void or something, but because of that, Tidehunter survives and actually Enchantress dies, so that's a bit of a mistake here, but it's not a big deal. That's the big advantage of actually fighting outside your opponent's base, is even if you lose the fight, they can just wait for your hero to respawn and no big deal. Instead of taking around the high ground, they're instead just going to take Roshan. We're just going to go quite fast here with the Alacrity on the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight actually does more damage here than the Void, because Void has not really gone for items that allow him to do a lot of single target damage. So Chaos Knight is just a better hero right now in terms of single target DPS, and also the fact that Chaos Knight has had a really good game. Void is having like an okay game, but mostly it's just a matter of him being able to farm while Chaos Knight makes space, as it should be for the position 1 and 3. With all the space he's had and with all the kills he's gotten thanks to Chaos Knight and the Sunstrike, Invoker is now incredibly high level, so now you can also roam around the map in Invis and set up those kills. And with CK coming in, that's going to be a dead Void Spirits. No, actually it actually escapes. Good job from him here, but this Interviven is going to die. So something dies here, and they still have the Aegis, so they can play quite boldly here. Notice how so far the Radiant team have almost entirely avoided real team fights. 5 versus 5 fights are not their lineup strength. So the enemy team has a lot of very powerful team fighters. So it's more about finding the pickoffs. But here in this situation, they briefly saw a Terrorblade being away here, so they think they can just fight here. We're finally going to see the Aghanim's CK. And so in these fights, the most important target is the Winter Wyvern. That's the one that can save other people, that can Winter's Curse you. So you need to go on this guy first, and then it's the Pangolier and the Void Spirits, who are also quite vulnerable to being gone on. But the heroes are now gone. He goes for the Tidehunter, which is also quite squishy once you disable his passive. But in this fight, with 2 Barbics coming in, the Dire team actually sort of managed to win in the sense that they drive away the enemy team, but not really finding enough kills. So they traded 4 for 2 and used 2 buybacks, so that's despite the huge net worth lead that Radiant already have, this is still a favorable fight for them. After respawning, Rezo immediately goes to the bottom lane and do Silver Edge. He wants to find someone farming. This is a good farming area for the Dire, so this is a good place to hunt for people. He's not shown himself yet, only going out of invis in the trees, and now he can use Silver Edge again and come in for another sweep, see if someone's maybe taking the bait, but so far no one is, but he just keeps being patient, and finally Titanite shows up, and that is going to be a really easy kill. And this kill is not possible without Silver Edge. And it's just too tanky for that, but without that passive, these illusions do a lot of damage. So if you use your W, your illusions nearby you in a pretty large radius get pulled towards you, but it's not global. So there's these illusions on the other parts of the map that are just going to farm some jungle camps. Didn't really find too much with them though. The formula for Rezo's offlane CK is pretty much Soul Ring, Treads, initiation item plus Aghanims, and then it's Heart. Heart is the premier late game item for CK, makes illusions so much more tanky, gives them some bonus damage as well, but mostly it's about the tankiness for your illusions as well as your main hero. Illusions are quite squishy, but extra HP helps a lot with them, so this is why Heart is the go-to item on CK, but you definitely want that initiation item as an offlaner. Just allows you to set up kills for your team as you should as an offlaner. CK once again wandering around in Shadow Walk and find some heroes here, find some Pangolier, and there's an immediate kill here on that hero. But with his Silver Edge still on cooldown, he can't really kill the Tyranitar as easily, but now it's available, and he can break the Tyranitar, and also using Reality Rift here, and actually pulls away the illusions here that were hitting the Enchantress from the Winter Violent ultimate. That's very important, and this in combination with the Oracle ultimate actually will allow the Enchantress to live. So chasing down the Tyranitar, and that is, you see how little damage he actually takes when he has the passive up, but still it's enough. And now they're just chasing, but no one is here, so they can just take some objectives. Problem is though that their creepers are not properly pushed. That's the big downside of this playstyle that Rezo is going here, with this very active map movements and constantly hunting for kills. Now the mid lane is pushed in. They have 2 people still dead on the enemy team. Do they have buybacks? No, they do not. So this can be a very easy tower here, and this is going to be pretty much the end of the game. So Chaos Knight, not just as a carry but also a powerful offlaner. Definitely give this build a try, and tell me in the comment section how it went for you. And I invite you to join my stream at twitch.tv/JohnGunnarsson. I also have set up a Discord server. Invite link to that is in the description, as well as also a link to my Twitch. So hopefully I see you there. But before then, I invite you to look at this other CK game I covered, a CK carry game, showing you how to get ultra farmed on Chaos Knight in the current patch. So do check that out, and always willing, I'll see you there.